Hi there, happy Sunday. I just wanted to check in with you because I know most of you should have your packets by now, and I know there were a lot of different papers in there, so I just wanted to go over them quickly to make sure you knew what they were all for. So the first one is pretty obvious, brain breaks. These are just different ideas for when your child needs a break from their work. In kindergarten, they're only 5 and 6 years old, so we don't expect them to sit for more than 10 minutes at a time without giving them some sort of movement. So same at home, they're going to need those breaks. There's websites on here that you can use to find different movements. There's other ideas like yoga or just going outside and playing or exercising with the family. So just make sure that they're still getting those brain breaks in there and getting some movement in for the day. Next, you should have gotten a literacy calendar. And on that literacy calendar, it has each day of the week and it tells what to read, what worksheets to do, and then that they need to be doing their journal. The reading and the worksheets are all going to come right from that orange CKLA workbook. So if it says read on the bus 14.3, you're going to find that page, the numbers in the top right-hand corner. Find that page and you can read that story with them. These are words, all are words that your student has either seen before or they know all the sounds too, so they can stretch those words and blend them together. These stories are getting a little harder though, so they might need mom or dad or grandma or grandpa or brother or sister's help on that. And if they do, that's fine. Maybe read it to them once or twice and then let them try that story on their own. But just so you know, they should be able to sound out those words, but they might need some help still. And then it says worksheets 14.1 and 14.2. That's right in the CKLA workbook as well. And if there's pages that we haven't told you to do on here, but your child wants to do it, that's perfectly fine. Those are just extra enhancement sheets. And then journal writing. I'm going to do a separate video on this, but for the first 2 weeks, Mrs. Zeckley and I started the journal sentences for them because fourth quarter is really when we get to our journal writing and really focus on writing a sentence. So we really haven't gotten to it that much yet this year. So we're going to start out a little slower. So we started the sentence. Your child will just trace that first part and then finish the sentence. There should have been a checklist in your papers too that has your child check. Did they start with an uppercase letter? Did they end with a period? Are all the other letters lowercase unless it's a name? So they can kind of use that checklist to make sure their writing looks good. But for the first couple weeks, starting out slower, and I'll have another video where I go over writing the sentences with them. So that's journal writing. Then you should have got a paper that says read, and we gave you stories that you can read right out of the CKLA workbook, so there's reading right there. And if some days you don't want to do that reading, here are some other choices. You can go to storylineonline.net and let your child listen to a read aloud. They can read a book at home with their brother or sister or mom or dad. You can read a book to them. You can go on YouTube. There's tons of read alouds on there. We love Pete the Cat read alouds. Those are almost all on YouTube. And just so you know, I know some of you have harder books at home that your kids can't quite read yet. That's okay. They're still reading if they're opening the book and looking at the pictures and using the pictures to tell a story. That's still reading in kindergarten. So they can be doing that with those tougher books, or they can even be looking for their tricky words on the different pages, but they should be doing some sort of reading almost every day at least. Okay, then we have math. I have a letter explaining the math. There's 2 parts to math. There's going to be the worksheets and the FIM. And I have the math calendar, and on each day I tell you exactly what FIM to do and then what worksheets to do. So these are FIM, and this should have been in your packet too. So Monday through Thursday, your child's just going to complete 2 problems on the FIM. That's it. Then I have uploaded the videos onto our class tag page, and those videos have someone reading these same problems to your child, and after your child figures it out, the video explains how they got to the right answer. So your child can kind of do this part on their own. They can listen to the video, someone reads the questions, they do them, then they listen to the video to see if they did it all correctly. And if they didn't, then they can fix it on their sheet. So you'll do 1 and 2 on Monday, 3 and 4 on Tuesday, 5 and 6 on Wednesday, and 7 and 8 on Thursday, and then no FIM on Friday. So those videos will be uploaded to class tag to go along with it. You don't have to use them though. You can just have your child working on these. They don't really need the video, it's just extra. And then, so that will be the FIM. And then there's a worksheet. And I tried to take the title of the worksheet, and then if the title was really vague, like addition to 10, I wrote what else was on that sheet. Like for tomorrow, I put addition to 10 piggy banks. So it'll say addition to 10 at the top, and then you'll know it's the right one because there'll be piggy banks on it. So right now we're just gonna do the 2 FIM a day and then the 1 worksheet, and then after these 2 weeks, we'll kind of see how it's going, see if that's too easy or if that's enough work for your child or whatnot. So for math, those are the 2 parts, the FIM and then the worksheet. There's a packet of math worksheets.